One of the biggest benefits to using a travel advisor is our relationships with our in-country partners. In this video, I'm going to talk a little bit more about that relationship, what an in-country partner is, and how it affects you as a traveler.
I'm Christina. I'm a traveler, a planner, and most importantly, a mom. I'm sharing my best tips to make traveling as a family a little less stressful. So put down your phone, pack your bags, and let's showcase the world.
Hi travelers, welcome back to Showcase the World Travel, where we're unlocking the secrets to stress-free and extraordinary journeys for families. Today we're zeroing in on a significant value add when planning complex trips: the powerful partnership between a travel advisor and a destination management company, or DMC. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by the intricacies of travel, you're not alone. And it wasn't until I got into the industry, I'd been into the industry for quite a few years before I started to understand the value of an in-country partner or a destination management company. My first agency didn't really work with them, and I actually have an agent on my team who moved over from someplace else and was told that a DMC is just transportation. And so I want to talk a lot about what they are and why it matters to you and why a travel advisor is going to lean into them to plan your trip, because they really streamline your adventure and bring unparalleled local experiences. They're like your local travel heroes. They possess an in-depth knowledge of their area and handle everything from accommodations to exclusive access to attractions. But here's the catch: they typically only work through travel advisors. That's because we know the questions to ask you. Our job is to really get to know you so that we can pair you with the right partner, right? So there's probably about 50 different destination management companies in Italy alone. I have 4 or 5 that I've vetted and worked with and that I'm going to lean into for your trip depending on your preferences, your budget, the type of experience that you want to use. Their job is to know the destination inside and out. And so what I love to do is I love to partner with partners. So drinking game, every time I say the word partner in this video, I partner with partners that I know to create experiences that are going to be engaging for families. So I did a really cool video with Magali, the owner of Family Twist, that I think might be helpful in understanding what kind of experiences that they can create. By pairing with DMCs, travel advisors like those of us at Showcase the World can craft personalized travel plans that go beyond the ordinary, right? So depending on the type of trip you want, yes, we can book the hotel directly. Yes, we can find tour guides. Yes, we can, book your tour on different platforms that we use: Viator, Get Your Guide, things that you could book your tour on. Or we can work with an in-country partner who's going to secure you a table at a Michelin-starred restaurant or arrange a private tour of a usually off-limits art gallery, and our collaborations with DMCs can make it happen, right? So I have a partner that I work with in London that has backstage access to the rehearsal for the changing of the guard. So every day before the changing of the guard leaves the barracks, we have access to go to their rehearsal in the army barracks, where you are so close to those. You're able to speak to the guards, have a conversation with them. Or I have another one that I work with in Paris that can privatize the Arc de Triomphe and the opera house. So he creates an incredible experience where you're alone in the opera house and the Phantom is there with you. So the Phantom of the Opera brings that to life there. He also has access to private chambers in Versailles that are not open to the public. These are kinds of experiences that turn a trip into a once-in-a-lifetime adventure. While services involving DMCs do have a premium, it's crucial to understand what that premium covers, like reliability and peace of mind. This cost is often balanced out by better rates at luxury hotels and unique access not otherwise available. So sometimes you feel it can be about 20% more than piecing everything together on your own, or it might come out apples to apples because their rates at the hotels are contracted and so much better. One thing to note about working with an in-country partner is a lot of DMCs won't break down the price, and that's because they're contractually obligated. Their contracts with the different hotels, they're not allowed to share their rates. So they can present a whole big package, but they can't break out component over component due to their contractual obligations. But know that this premium does have a great value. Let's look at some real life scenarios where DMCs transformed our clients' experiences. They solve last-minute travel disruptions and arrange unexpected delights to highlight irreplaceable value of having an expert support on the ground. So, especially when dealing with Europe, there's a lot of discord that can happen when strikes occur. And strikes occur frequently, especially in France and Italy. But what I want to talk to you about is a client that I had traveling to Greece, and they were planning on taking the ferry from Athens to Santorini. Unfortunately, the ferries went on strike that day, but before they even woke up and knew that the ferries were on strike, because they had booked with an in-country partner, the in-country partner had already refunded their ferry tickets and used that money to book them on a flight from Athens to Santorini. So everything was seamless. Their car picked them up at the hotel, and instead of bringing them to the ferry, brought them to the airport, right? So they're able to handle things, move things around. Greece is apparently a really good example, because now that's what's coming to my mind. My family and I were in Greece, and Athens got more rainfall in a single day than they typically get all year. So they had closed down all of the government sites, allowed everyone to go home to deal with any flooding in their homes. And so government sites meant that the Parthenon was closed. So there really wasn't anything for us to do or anything that we had planned. We were planning on actually leaving that day on a chartered catamaran. And it was just the weather was so bad that the captain was like, we really can't leave today. So we had an extra day in Athens. We didn't know what to do. It was raining, so we couldn't sit by the pool. And so I texted the in-country partner and I said, hey, what can we do today? Within minutes, she had booked us a private tour of a private museum. And it was one of my daughter's favorite moments of the trip. She was 2. I didn't think she would love the museum, but that unexpected delight, when we ask her what she remembers about Greece, she'll say the custard. She really loved the custard, and the man goat. And the man goat was a story that our guide in the museum had told her about the god Pan, who's half man, half goat, and showed her the statue and told her about the origin of the word panic. And so when she talks about Greece, she'll say custard and man goat. And that was unexpected due to, not being able to leave on our catamaran as expected. On that same trip, it was too windy to leave the port, so we had an additional day in Naxos. She arranged a tour for us. We got to go up into this little village in the mountains that, not many people in Naxos get to visit. We got to go to a local restaurant where my daughter was in, so all of a sudden she was in the kitchen with the cooks making our lunch, and we got to see a local pottery and some local olive oil that we wouldn't have done. And so having that support there is crucial. One thing I'll kind of talk about in terms of the budget is I did have a client come to me, and we were putting together a proposal through a DMC. This one was in London. They don't break down the costs. And so we were looking at their overall trip. They had some experiences that couldn't be booked elsewhere. They were exclusive to that partner, and we had added something to their trip, and he kind of balked at the cost a little bit and decided to start pulling out some things that he thought he could price better. One of the things he pulled out was the transfer from the airport to the hotel. And I got a call really early in the morning, East Coast time, because he was in London, that his transfer didn't show up. But it wasn't a transfer that I had booked, because he'd pulled it out and had done it on his own. And so there really wasn't anything I could do at that point. When working with an in-country partner, they're using the best of the best. They're using the best guides. They're using the best drivers, the most reliable drivers. And so if he hadn't have pulled that out, most likely he wouldn't have had that problem. And if he did have that problem, I would have reached out to, he would have a 24-hour support call for the in-country partner where he could let them know that their transfer wasn't there. They would send another one right away. But most likely, the transfer company already knew that the driver was not on the way and would have sent somebody else. And so that the client would have never known there was an issue. And that's what I love about in-country partners. Typically, the in-country partner and I know that there is an issue, but the client never does because we've solved it on the back end. We've moved things around, we've massaged it so that the client doesn't feel any of those hiccups that can sometimes happen when traveling. Our approach to using DMCs is all about enhancing your travel experience and to ensure that you not only visit a destination, but you truly experience it. Right? So we're able to get you in touch with locals. We're able to create experiences like making your own perfume. One of the DMCs I work with in London has this incredible experience where you bring an old piece of clothing and you bring it to a Savile Row tailor and you upcycle your clothing into a new piece of fashion. That same DMC also does some experiences in Paris, and she created an exclusive experience. So this isn't something they regularly offer, but they had a client come in and they went to a fashion house in Paris and she designed her own prom dress there. So they do really incredible things that you can't do without them. Plus you have that 24-hour support and local expertise. I love to help my clients no matter where they're traveling, no matter what they've booked, but they have an extra layer of support with that DMC when they have that 24-hour number. So is this support right for you? Well, we've explored the potential of having a travel advisor and an in-country partner at your side. So as you consider your next journey, think about the type of experience you want to have. Is it about exploration, ease, and exclusive access? Then a DMC might be your key to unlocking the true potential of your travels. We would love to help you plan your next adventure with that added expert support. So reach out to us at showcasetheworldtravel.com where you can go ahead and book a call with us to help make your travel dreams a reality. Don't forget to subscribe for more travel insights and tips. And below, if you want this type of experience, but you're not really sure where you want to travel with kids yet, we have a free guide for you. It's 18 summers, and it's my 18 favorite family-friendly destinations. So check that out, get that guide. Thank you for tuning in. Hit subscribe. Oh, I already said that. But do it. If you haven't done it yet, hit subscribe. And remember, in the world of travel, the right support can make all the difference. Thank you so much for joining me. And don't forget to take a break from the busy.
Need help planning your next family vacation? Visit us at showcasetheworld.com to request a quote or schedule a free vacation consultation. Want more great travel tips? You'll find those there too.